What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's transfer update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, you want to help to support my channel, then do subscribe. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. In around 7 weeks' time, January 1st, I'm going to be starting my series up once more of daily Manchester City transfer updates to roll throughout the winter January transfer window. So if you want to stay up to date with all things Manchester City in the transfer market on YouTube, then make sure you have subscribed to my channel. Social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, do leave a thumbs up as well if you do enjoy this video. 300 likes once more is the aim. Also, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the comments below of what you make of these transfers. And lastly, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by OneFootball.
This video is brought to you by OneFootball. If you want to download the OneFootball app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of my description, which will take you forward to where you can download this app. The OneFootball app is extremely useful if you are a huge football fan just like me. It provides you with the latest footballing news, transfer news, and the latest videos as well. It is one source of information of where I get my transfer news from. It also allows you to see the latest scores with what's happening in the footballing world. If you just click on a game, including any Manchester City game, it will not only bring up the latest team news, but it will also bring up the latest statistics and keep you up to date with everything happening in that game. If you want to download this app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of the description to stay up to date.
Thank you very much to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. If you want to go and check them out, then the link is in the description. So let's crack on with this transfer update. We're going to start off with some contract news, and we've got an update on Pep Guardiola. Now, Graeme Bailey has said that Manchester City, they are confident that they can get Pep on a new contract. They say that Manchester City have a broad agreement in place with Pep's representatives, and it could tie Pep Guardiola down until 2025. His current contract expires in the summer of 2023, so next summer. So City wanted to put an extra 2 years on top of his current deal, so it would be a 2-year extension, which, if announced, would be a 3-year contract. That could be announced once Pep Guardiola and Manchester City are in the United Arab Emirates, so the UAE. Manchester City are heading out to the UAE in a couple of weeks' time. The players are going to be given some time off, Pep Guardiola is going to be heading to Barcelona to spend some time with his family for the next couple of weeks during the World Cup. And then once it gets past the group stages, I think City are heading out to the UAE warm weather training camp. It's close to Qatar, so the players can fly over. They'll stay in the UAE until I presume, the conclusion of the World Cup, and then they'll come back to England ready to start the season once more, which will start just before Christmas in a Carabao Cup 4th round match against Liverpool. So we await further clarification on that. City hoping to get Pep Guardiola's new contract announced during the World Cup. Now, moving on to the ins, we've got no out news right now. The Manchester Evening News have asked Pep Guardiola about business in January, and Pep Guardiola has said that he is happy with the squad. So I do suspect that Manchester City will be continuing their strategy that they've been doing since the closing of the summer transfer window, which is looking towards young players like we have been and trying to get them tied down to Manchester City to join up in our academy. Manchester City will be taking time between now and February to start identifying players to get the ball rolling for potential summer transfers. And Manchester City, I've got a feeling, are going to be very busy in the summer, because it's crystal clear right now that Manchester City's squad isn't perfect, and I do have a feeling that one of, if not both of, Gundogan and Bernardo Silva will leave Manchester City in the summer. So it's going to take a little bit of investment from Manchester City when it comes to central midfield. We know about fullbacks. We know Manchester City might also be looking at a winger as well. So we're looking at 3 or 4 first-team signings potentially next summer for Manchester City. So it's going to be busy. It takes time. The ball will be rolling right now because we're heading into what is going to be the Winter World Cup. So it's a fabulous time for Manchester City's hierarchy to start getting things sorted like transfers. So I imagine Chicky will be very busy, as Manchester City scouts have been busy right from August right through to now. They'll be scouting the World Cup, and any good prospects come out from the World Cup, Manchester City will be having a look and will be interested as well. So I'm expecting the rumour mill to go into overdrive through the January transfer window. Now, moving on, and speaking of players and impressing at the World Cup, which will increase value, takes us on to Jude Bellingham. Now, Mike Keegan says that should Jude Bellingham do well in the Winter World Cup, Dortmund plan to hike up his price. He says that Jude isn't expected to see out his contract at Borussia Dortmund, which does expire in 2025. There is every possibility that Jude Bellingham will be priced out of a move anywhere next summer and could choose to stay at Borussia Dortmund. The current value we're looking at is 150 million euros. That's next summer. That's with him having 2 years left on his contract. And if that's the case and City walk away and all the other clubs, Real Madrid, Liverpool, etc., if they all choose to walk away and he chooses not to sign a new contract, that would take him down next winter to 18 months and the summer after of 2024 to 1 season left on his contract, in which case his value will come right down. So we'll see what happens. Jude Bellingham, I've got a feeling in the next 12 to 18 months will no longer be a Borussia Dortmund player. Manchester City know they've got great relations with Dortmund to try and make a transfer happen. Now, Mike Keegan has said that initial talks have been held between Manchester City and Jude Bellingham's camp. The people involved around the deal know about the deal. They believe that Bellingham does want to join Manchester City. City and Dortmund hold strong relations with each other since that deal was struck with Erling Haaland. Dortmund are happy to do business. City are happy to do business. It is literally all about price and how much are Manchester City willing to pay. We've paid a lot in wages for Erling Haaland. However, transfer fee was around £50 million. If we're spending a lot on the transfer fee, the wage won't be anywhere near as high. So if Bellingham was to join Manchester City, he wouldn't come in and be one of Man City's highest paid players. Whereas if there's another club like Real Madrid or Liverpool are willing to make Bellingham one of the highest paid players, he may choose to go there instead. It's going to be a very expensive transfer deal to make happen. Mike Keegan at the Daily Mail, though, reckons Manchester City could well be one of the front runners for Jude Bellingham. I definitely will be keeping my eyes and ears open with regards to that. So if it's not going to be Jude Bellingham, it means Manchester City need contingencies. They need backups. And one of them players that Man City have 100% been scouting is Enzo Fernandez. Now, Man City turned down the chance to sign Enzo Fernandez in the summer from River Plate. Instead, he headed out to Benfica in Portugal. He's been impressing, the 20-year-old centre-back, so much so that Benfica don't want to sell him. They've protected him with a release clause. The release clause is a whopping 120 million euros. Manchester City, again, aren't going to pay that. The question is, could Manchester City negotiate that down? How much do Benfica need big amounts of money? Who knows? Benfica seem very confident that if Enzo Fernandez is to leave, it's not going to be anything less than his release clause of 120 million euros. But definitely an option to consider, albeit he is 30 million euros cheaper than Jude Bellingham. Who did Manchester City choose to go for? Did they choose to pay top dollar for Jude Bellingham? Did they choose to pay a hell of a lot of money for Enzo Fernandez? Or did they have a look elsewhere around the market? And that is what Manchester City, I think, are going to be very busy with over the next 2 to 3 months, including having a look at the World Cup, at central midfielders. They'll be looking at fullbacks, they'll be looking at wingers as well, and any other player that does impress. Anyone that does impress at the World Cup, their price is going to go through the roof. So we will see what happens with regards to that. So that's been the video. Thank you everybody for watching. Do leave a thumbs up, 300 likes, that's the aim. Let me know your thoughts as well of what you make of these transfers in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to keep you up to date with all the latest Manchester City transfer news first and fast on YouTube. So make sure you have subscribed to my channel. Now less than 400 subs away from 28k subscribers. I want to hit that by the end of the year. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well, social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by OneFootball. OneFootball will keep you up to date with all the latest transfer news through their app, as well as all the latest football news, the latest scores, results, statistics, live league tables ahead of the Winter World Cup. It's a free app to download. Go and check it out. Link in the description. Anyone that does download the OneFootball app using my link does help to support the future content created here on my channel, and it does keep these videos coming for you guys. And I will see you all again early into the week for the Manchester City mid-season review. We know we're 5 points behind Arsenal at the top of the Premier League. They're just starting to settle on that very disappointing result yesterday against Brentford. But tried to provide a transfer update, keep the mood nice and light, get the talking points around that so we can all move on from that and then we can come back focused, ready to go just before Christmas. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.